my freedom, my mastery of my own time was more important than my next paycheck. It's not because I don't like making money. It's a lot more to do with I'm tired. I am burnout. It has been 40 years, probably more like 45 years for me that I've been working. I was pressed into service in the family businesses and farmed out to friends with businesses probably about the age 12. That doesn't even take into consideration the chore list we had at the house. Thank you, Dad. But I realized recently, in the past 2 years or so, that I'm looking forward to the time where I don't have to get up and spend 3 hours round trip a day on the road, give them 9 to 10 hours a day on the ground, and then fit in everything else that I have to do in a day. And that's long before my side hustles, my passion projects. This was starting off with the regular commute for the last 15 years to see my husband, who's been my husband for half that time. And let's add into it caregiving for older parents. Now, we've gone through the full cycle of all the parents, and between us, we're down to one singular mother. And that is why I am tethered to this desk in Houston, because she is here and this is where I take care of her. My sisters and I do as good as we can possibly do, and we're grateful for the opportunity. We are blessed, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it just adds to the whole pile of stuff that we have to get done every day. And I think a lot of you out there have gone through this, if you're not currently going through this as well. And some of you got adult kids that are coming back home or need further parenting. There was a time back during our generation where at 18, you couldn't wait to leave the house, and your dad, I'm sure, got your driver's license as soon as you could at 16. But times have changed, and we've Gen X'd and raised and mentored this generation, we've probably done too good of a job in giving them a soft place to land. But I have other videos out there about that. Back to this particular series. So this is series 7 in a 7-month long series, talking all about a retirement from if you are a second, third, fourth wife, or you have a second, third, fourth wife, what are the retirement splits? What do you need to do to get ready for health care? Especially if you want to retire before 65. But one of the things that many of us do not fully plan for or expect is the lifestyle adjustment. And this is what Series 7 has been about. It's not about spreadsheets. It's not about budgets. It's not about who your financial advisor is and if you've got a 401k and is it a Roth or a traditional. No. It was about what are you going to do every day for the rest of your life. Not that you got to plan it out, but you got to have some idea. Also, there's a social aspect to it. When we quit working, we move away from that built-in, baked-in daily interaction with other humans. And some of us, if you're single or if you don't have a large post-work community of friends, maybe not a lot of family around, you might find that there's a lot less interaction with humans. And, you don't need to drift into different establishments just to have that human interaction. So those are things to start thinking about now. And yes, there are people at work that you truly want to continue spending time with, but you need to start building those relationships outside of the office, because they're not just going to organically happen. Your friendships with your coworkers, the foundation of that is the shared experience at your employer. When that erodes, when that goes away because you are turning the page and moving on, if you want to hold on to those friendships, start building them now. There's videos about this out there. All right, okay, flipping the page. I'll make sure to flip it that way next time. So the questions really are bigger than, can I retire? Or should I retire? The questions are, what will I do when I retire? Yes, we all have that fantasy bucket list. But let's talk about the nitty gritty of every day, because those activities that we're going to do on our bucket list, those are waypoints, those are milestone points. But you're going to get up every day. You're going to have your morning beverage, whatever that may be. You're going to get dressed. Maybe, maybe not. I personally need to get dressed every day. It's just part of my DNA. And I also need to have, I hate to say it, I'm a to-do list person. I need a to-do list pretty much at least on a weekly basis, and because I enjoy marking stuff off. Now, I do have my side hustles and my passion projects and things that I will continue to engage in through this next chapter. Yes, hopefully they will bring me some income to offset the withdrawals from my retirement accounts before I take Social Security, etc. If I retire before 65. That's how I wink, by the way. But what will you do? If you are considering that you want to not 100% quit working, great. I don't want to, but I don't want to work for somebody else. So I've started, before I'm ready to leave my full-time job, doing these videos. I've got a couple of other side hustles and passion projects that I work on that I am trying to build into a pumping the well, so to speak, so that when I retire, they're not just a pastime, they're actually a passive income. Because yes, I've made certain that I have enough money to meet my monthly expenses at all the different stages of retirement. I plan to go out net zero. So if you're related to me out there, or you're thinking that I'm part of your retirement plan, you need to think again, because I'm going to blow through it one way or the other. I do not plan to go out a multimillionaire. No. If it so happens, well, then there will be several organizations and or people in my life that will be blessed with what I leave behind. But if I've got a hankering to go do something, I'm going to go do it. So what are you going to do? What do you think your post full-time employment is going to look like? Do you want to start building a side hustle? I do recommend that you do that now. At least pick what you are interested in that you think you could possibly make some money in. If you're not quite sure, or if you are a stay-at-home parent and you're not sure what skill sets you have, there's a lot of reasons why some people choose to continue working. One is because you're just not ready to stop. You enjoy the production, you enjoy the structure, etc. Another important reason is you've got to figure out if you've got a gap between what you have and what you need. So you may need to keep working to fill that gap. Now, you can work part-time somewhere, and that very possibly could have some health benefits built into it, especially if you're retiring or leaving your current employer before 65. But I would definitely do retirement the way you want to do it. If you're not ready to fully quit for whatever the motivation is, but you don't want to work for somebody else, as you're preparing your life, your nest egg, your home, downsizing, whatever you're doing, to enter into this next chapter, let's go ahead and start building out some of these side hustles. Start networking at least. There are things that you can do that you probably are not aware you're good at. Think about what you do. What problems do you solve on a regular basis, regardless if they're at the office or if you are a stay-at-home mother or caregiver to your adult to your family, to your parents. What problems are you always solving for people? Is it organization? Is it how to budget, how to balance? Is it yard work or gardening consults, etc.? There are a dozen and a half different ways that you can make some money. Down in the description, if you haven't already gotten there, go to my Retirement Resource Center at my website. The link is in the description, but go ahead and pick up the Master Your Money Plan and the Life Experiences to Income Workbook, which will help you figure out what you've got the skill sets, the desire, because we're not going to do anything post this job unless it's something you want to do, something you enjoy doing. That's the choice. To leave where you feel indentured and bound into this next chapter where you're setting up your own freedom and you're making your own decisions. You don't have to rely on an employer to tell you what your schedule is, etc. You are old enough, you are, but we're also adult enough not to do stupid. So none of us are going to walk in tomorrow and quit, but you can start today planning it. You can start today figuring out what you want to do next. All right, so now we're going back to the notes here. Let me ask you this. If money was not part of the equation, let's just say, because right now the Powerball and Mega Millions are way big, but let's just say you won a little bit of the lottery and you no longer had to work because you've got it covered now. If money wasn't part of the equation, what would you do with yourself? If you didn't have to work this job, if you didn't need the health benefits, what would you be doing with your days? Is it grandkids related? Is it volunteering at different community places or with your church? Would you go on a mission? Leave down in the comments how you'd like to spend some of your time. I would love to hear that, because my enjoyment, I like power tools. Maybe some of you haven't seen the videos on my channel where I've built my cabin. Me and my dad built that, a blind old man and a woman. But I enjoy power tools. I enjoy technology. So my day fillers are going to be different than yours. My passions are different than yours. I'm sure some of us have got a lot of similar things. I was the son Dad never had. I've come from a family of four daughters, and I was the tomboy. Okay, yeah. Let's just call a spade a spade. I was the tomboy. I was a trailblazer. Let me tell you about that. All right. You know, these notes, let's just freeform it, shall we? So this series, I've walked you through some really hard information, but I'm ending it with the joy of where we're headed, what we're doing, why we've done what we've done for the past 40, 50 years. Yeah, we've had to pay mortgages or pay rent, raise children, take care of repairing vehicles or the household appliances, etc. There's been a bajillion reasons why we've gotten up every day and gone to these jobs. And that is starting to wind down. I'm about to go attend my 40th high school reunion. That's amazing to me, because inside, and leave me a comment if you feel the same way, I wouldn't say I feel 18 anymore, but I definitely don't feel like I'm staring down the barrel of 60. That is exciting, awakening, but it's freeing. It's my time of life, caring what other people think, trying to keep up with the Joneses, rising to the occasion of somebody else's agenda and expectations. I'm done. I'm done. It is retirement, this next chapter for me. It is about reclaiming that spirit I had back before life got significantly real, being a bit more freeform with how I spend each day, still getting done what needs to be done, but being able to look at my husband and say, let's run up the coast and go do something for the weekend. Now, honey and I, we're not real big stay at the hotel type people. When we do a road trip, it's straight through. We trade off driving. We're sleeping in rest areas and truck stops, etc. And hopefully in our road trips post occupations, we won't have quite the constraints on getting from point A to point B, and we can do some more leisurely sightseeing, etc. But it is just fun. Doing that sort of thing is that is how I plan to spend the majority of my go-go years. Yes, there's a few bucket list items that I want to mark off. I do want to do some European tours. I haven't been there since I was 18, and I want to go spend some extensive time in both Ireland and Scotland. You've probably heard me say that in other videos. But all of this takes intention, focus, budgeting, yeah, because I'm not going to take out a credit card to pay for these things. So go through and look at this series 7, because there is so many topics in here that will set you up for success way past the money end of it, the financial end of it. It feels like a job. It does. Sometimes being the master of your destiny based on being able to support yourself for the next 25, 30 years. Yeah, a lot of us are going to live that long. Some of us aren't going to make it. The check engine soon lights might be coming on already, but a lot of us, we're going to live that long. So do you have enough money to do that? And in each one of the videos, I remind you that you have to know what your monthly number is and to start living on that number now to make sure that it is a satisfactory budget that will both support the life you want to live and will not put you into the poorhouse halfway through your alleged retirement. Okay, so I am really starting to ramble now. I am pre-recording this. I will do a mini live tomorrow to introduce this video before I launch it. Reason for that is I found out this past week that my check engine soon light on my wrist I have come on, and I will be having the carpal tunnel release surgery this coming week. So I wanted to make sure I get this out of the way. And by out of the way, I mean get this done, because I am true to my word, and I was going to do a live tomorrow. So I will pop in, do a quick live, introduce this video, release it, and voila. All right, I am Jenny. I have a little to say about a lot of stuff. More coming up. Like, share, subscribe. Send this series, this video, this live, and my entire channel to somebody in your life, whether you're Gen X or not. It will sneak up on you. So you need to make very sure that you are ready for whatever life throws you next. And this channel is not just about the dollars, it's about the cents. I'll see y'all soon.